Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Ask a Witch. My name's Katrina Rasbold, and I've been a practicing witch for almost 40 years. And for 10 of those years or so, I've been working professionally doing spell work, cleansings, and readings for other people, and also teaching classes about all aspects of witchcraft. And so I get a lot of questions that come my way about witchcraft, and I thought to share those with you. And that's how the Ask a Witch series was born. So for this edition's question, it we could probably do a lot of different ones on this because it'll just go on, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. White magic versus black magic. What's the difference in a white witch and I guess a not white witch? And where do those terms come from and how do they apply? So even the most experienced witches, sometimes you'll hear talk about, oh, that's black magic, or I don't do black magic. And quite honestly, I don't really tend to criticize my fellow witches, but that's just dumb. And the reason is because there is no white magic, there is no black magic. There is just magic. And upon the idea of magic, which is the manipulation of natural energies that are already in place here in the world in order to achieve an outcome, you have to overlay a certain ethical framework onto it. And that's something that is going to change from person to person. Each person who does spell work has their own ethical experience and their own boundaries of what they will and they will not do. Me, for instance, when I'm doing work for other people, I won't do breakup work and I don't do work that is specifically intended to harm another person. I will do work that might affect another person, like a honey pot or um, a hot foot spell or something like that. But to actually physically cause them or open the door for death or physical harm, I won't do that. And I have clients actually get really frustrated with me, especially for not wanting to do breakup magic because they've just decided that this couple, whoever they are, needs to not be together. This is my husband and his new mistress, and she's trying to take him away. And so I need them to break up. Or this woman isn't good for my son and he looks like he's going to marry her. So I need you to break them up. And I just don't do that. I don't how can I don't screw with somebody else's life who's not even in the conversation. And I sure won't cause them physical harm. There's candles such as doom candles, which means death unto my enemies, that I see burned all the time. And the problem with that is that it introduces the idea and concept of death into energetic work that you're doing to harm that person. And a lot of people say, well, I don't intend for them to die. That's not my intention. Well, you know what? You're sending death to them with that candle. It might be the death of their prosperity. It might be the death of their happiness, but you're sending death to them. And death is a wild card. You can't really control that when you invoke it. So there's lots of ways that you can affect a situation with energy without sending death into the equation. And so those are spells that I won't do. And those are things that people would usually consider to be black magic. There's also people that would consider doing a love spell to be black magic because that is doing coercive magic to get somebody else to feel something that they don't already feel or that they're not acting on if they do feel it. So everybody's going to have their own limits for what they're willing to do or what they feel is ethical magic. And so to be able to set a category of, well, this is black magic and this is white magic is ridiculous because there's so much gray area in there that's negotiable. We don't have a witch consensus on what is and isn't okay magically. You know, there's some things that the average person would say, no, I wouldn't do that. That's not good. There's some people that won't do any magic at all because they say if anything I do is going to have ripple effects and affect other people. And I don't want that. Let's say that I don't know, something as simple as you're programming for a parking spot up front at the Home Depot that you know is always going to be crowded. And so you get up there and you've been visualizing and you've put energy into it. And by the time you get there, boy, howdy, that upfront parking place is right there. You zip into it. That 8-month pregnant lady's now got to walk from all the way the other end of the parking lot. You just affected her life because you wanted a parking place up front. In general, we have to just accept that if we do spell work, there's a chance it's going to inconvenience somebody else. If I'm missing rain and I want to do some rain magic and I do a rain spell to fortify our lands and bring rain to me, I might have just rained out somebody's fancy wedding on Saturday. So you're always at the risk of affecting somebody else with your magic. And for some people, that's considered to be black magic, is when it reaches over to the ripple effects affecting somebody else. So if you're going to do magic at all, and I suspect a lot of people are if you're watching this, you need to be prepared for the idea and accepting of the idea that, yeah, there's going to be collateral damage. There's going to be people caught up in what you're doing. There's some people that will actually do magical work knowing fully well they intend to affect another person. All 6 of my kids have been affected by magic on the regular. They're adults now. And if I've got them in the house now, they're in their 30s and 40s. So if they come to the house and I start saging and blessing the house, they set the hell down. Why do they do that? Because they were conditioned for years through the cleansing of the air with smoke that their energy needs to come down and they need to be still, because that was what I put into them over the years just so I could survive with having 6 kids. So everybody has their definitions of what would be considered white or black magic. There is no such thing. So if you say, "Oh, I'm a white witch," what you're really trying to say is, "I'm a witch, but you would like me." Or "I'm a witch and I don't do anything wrong," or "I'm a witch and I don't ever hurt anybody." And that's just silly. You're a witch or you're not. And you work with integrity or you don't. And so you get to decide what that looks like. But to use, honest to God, in the witch and pagan community, if you use terms like white magic and black magic, we think you're ignorant. We just do. So don't do that. And my little dog is doing the pee-pee dance right now. And he's 18. So when he says that, we go. And that's all I got to say about white and black magic. Try to get those ideas out of your head, because all you do is work with integrity and you're going to be just fine. It don't matter what color it is, it can be purple. So that's what I got to say about that. I hope that's helpful to you. Y'all take care.